Okay guys, today we're going to do slope for lesson 3.4. Slope is something that I know that you did in 8th grade, so hopefully this will be an easier lesson for you. So the definition of slope is that it's a ratio of the vertical change or the rise to the horizontal change or the run between any 2 points on a line. It is a constant ratio for any points on the same line. So no matter which 2 points you pick, the slope's going to be the same if those points are on the same line. Slope is always written as a fraction in simplest form. Sometimes that fraction in simplest form becomes a whole number. Sometimes it is an improper fraction. So both of those are still fractions. Slope is represented by the letter M on a graph. Well, slope is represented by the letter M in an equation. And on the graph, you can find it by using rise over run. Now notice that we have spelled rise with a Y. That's because it is Y over X. So I know we're used to when we're plotting points doing X first, like we do left or right and then up or down. So we do X and then Y. But for slope, you're talking about the change in Y over the change in X. So you have to do the Y on top. So there are 4 basic different types of slope. There is positive slope, which goes up. So it's going to look like this. So if you had a coordinate plane like this, like here's your X, here's your Y, positive slope goes up. Now, you always read a graph from left to right. I'm going to actually put that on here. There's not a lot of extra room, but read the graph from left to right, just like you would read a book. Just like how you read slope is represented by the letter M from left to right, you're going to start at the left and go to the right. So going up happens like that. It's a positive. If we had another coordinate plane on here and we wanted to talk about a negative slope, it would go down from left to right. So notice we start up high on the left and then go down. Okay, so that's the difference in positive and negative. Zero slope, so if I had something like this, I'm going to use a different color. I should have done that on all of this. Zero slope would look like, let's use pink. This. So zero slope is flat. It is a flat slope. And then undefined is a vertical. Okay, so this one was horizontal. This one is vertical. So that's undefined slope. Okay, so I redid those so that they all had the graphs in pink. So the positive and negative are easier to tell on that green background. All right, so positive starts low, goes high. Negative starts high, goes low. Zero is horizontal or flat. And undefined is vertical. Okay, so hopefully that will help you with that. So what we're going to do now is first we're going to see that the directions are wrong. And it says evaluate each function for the given value. So that was from another page when the title was copied and pasted. So what this should say is find the slope from the graph. So I'm going to change that real quick, and you can change that on yours too if you would like. Okay, so I changed that to say find the slope of the graph. I used a little white out so that that would be a little bit less noticeable there. So what we're going to do on this is we are going to use the rise over run from up here in our formula box to determine the slope of these lines. Now you notice that these first ones already have points on there for you. So you can use those to rise and then run. Whoops, I didn't go up far enough. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so Y goes on top. And then we're going to run. Don't count. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't go up far enough the second time. And then when you start counting your run, you don't count here. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 7 over 4 is your slope. And that is a simplified fraction. It's improper, but that's okay. Slope can be an improper fraction. So you're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then run 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you get that. Okay, this one, and notice how I started on the left and then went to the point on the right. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to start on the left, so I'm going to have to rise by going down. Well, if I have to go down 1, 2, then that means I'm going -2. So the rise of this particular line is -2 because I had to go down 2 before I could start running. So I went down 1, 2, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, -2 over 6 can be simplified. And if you don't remember how to simplify fractions, that's okay because your calculator will do it for you. So I'm going to show you how to do this in your calculator so that that's not something you have to worry about. So you can do this in your calculator if you have like an actual calculator or in the one on the computer. So you're going to put in -2 over 6 and push enter, and you're going to get the simplified version, which is -1/3. And so you're just going to write it like that so that you know that that is what it equals. Now we can check this one too, but notice it is already simplified, so it is not going to change. It's going to stay 7/4. So if you put in a fraction and it doesn't change, that means it's already simplified. If it does change, you want the simplified answer. All right, then this one, notice that we don't rise, we only run. So if you don't rise, that means you have a 0 on top, and then we would run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 0 over any number is 0. So we could actually show that in the calculator as well. And so that's going to give us 0. It simplifies to 0. So that is the slope of this one. And notice how it looks like this. It is a horizontal line. A horizontal line has a slope of 0. We just talked about that. So make sure that you're not getting that one wrong when it's such an easy problem. It's just 0 all the time. Okay, the next one, number 4. This one we're going to rise to 1, 2. And then we're going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one also will simplify to 1/3, but this time we were going up, not down. So this one we went down and up, then ran 6. This one we went up and then ran 6. So make sure that you're paying attention to going up or down so that you get a negative if you need to get a negative. And notice this looks, it's going down. It looks like our negative. This one's going up, so it looks like our positive. All right, the next one, we're also going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to run 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you put that in your calculator, which some of you already know what this is, you're going to get -1 because -4 divided by 4 is -1. Now, if you look at this closely, you can see that you are going down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1 every time. So that slope is consistent throughout that entire line, going down 1 and over 1. All right, when we get to number 6, These do not have any points on it. So you can actually choose any points on the line that you want to choose. So this one, if we chose like this point and this point, as long as they are touching, like how these, sorry, you know, these are just touching where it's going across the grid. So as long as you choose a point like that, you can use it. So this one we are going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are not running. So that would be a 0. Well, if we try to do this one in our calculator, it gives us an error because we tried to divide by 0. That's why vertical lines are undefined. So if you have some vertical line like this, you just write on there that it's undefined. It has undefined slope because it's a vertical line, because it's not running. So it has to divide by 0, which it cannot do. That's mathematically impossible. Okay. The next one, so I'm going to pick 2 points on this one. It looks like there's a nice point here I could use, and then there's a point here. There's also a point here. So always use the 2 that are closest together. Notice that this is in the middle of a line, so you don't want to use these that are not on a grid point. And then there's also, we could have used this one. So I'm actually going to use this one to show what I'm talking about for simplifying the fraction. So if I'd use these 2 that are farthest away, I would go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I would run 1, 2, 3. So if I put that in my calculator, whoops, -9/3, I'm going to get -3. Because -9 divided by 3 is -3. So let's look at these other ones that we could have picked and see if they will give us the same thing. So this first one, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then over 1. So I'm going to get -3/1. -3 divided by 1 is -3. But if I would have used this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so -6/1, 2, also -6 divided by 2 is also -3. So it doesn't matter which 2 points you choose. As long as you simplify your answer, you're going to get -3, which is what we want. Okay. Last 2 here. Here looks like a good point, and here looks like a good point. So this one I'm going to rise 1, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this one has to stay 1/3. This is different than this. Okay, because what this is saying is 1 divided by 3, which is 1/3. So make sure you're not mixing up these 2 things. Okay, this one's going to stay 1/3. It can't simplify anymore. And then the last one is kind of like number 5. Notice that all of these are grid points. So that means we're going up 1 and over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So the slope of this one is just 1. Okay? I'm going to add another video from YouTube into this that talks about the types of slope. I want you to watch it, as well as making sure you've got the notes filled in for this.